How's everyone doing? Thanks for joining my small engine repair channel. Today's project is this Troy-bilt Vortex 30-inch three-stage snowblower, and the problem the customer's having with it is that he says there might be something wrong with the transmission. So let's take a look at it and see if we can fix it up for him. So this machine came in for a number of reasons. The first one being that the chute control stopped working for him. So I have a video on how I figured out and diagnosed the problem and fixed that. If you want, you can go ahead and click the link in the top right there now. But this one in particular, the other problems it had was he had dropped it off of the back of his truck and almost landed on him. So it had bent a bunch of things, including the bracket for this transmission and the bracket there for the this one would be for the drive cable. Okay, so I since actually rebent all these brackets back the way they're supposed to be and hooked up the transmission back the way it was, or the way it's supposed to be. But he was saying also that a third problem was that it wouldn't blow snow. So he thought it was a transmission problem. He probably doesn't know a whole lot about it, but about these machines. That's why he brings it to a guy like me. But anyways, doesn't matter. So right off the bat, anyone can see there's a problem here. You know, in fairness to him, this whole thing was covered in snow and ice and stuff like that. So, you know, not seeing this plastic bag, you know, I can give him the benefit of the doubt. So I just take that plastic bag out. But he was saying that it wouldn't blow snow. Right away, I can tell that is a problem. That is not supposed to spin on the shaft like that. See how these ones are kind of locked in place, and they're locked in place with something called shear pins, okay? And these pins are like bolts, but they're actually softer metal, and they're actually designed to shear. So if you sucked up a newspaper and it got jammed up in here, instead of it trying to push that newspaper through, what it would happen is it would shear that shear bolt. And the reason why we want that to happen is because otherwise you're going to burn out the transmission here, which changes the motion from the engine. Ultimately it gets here and then transfers it to this shaft. Okay, so if this was not able to shear off, then what would happen is that this thing would continuously try to spin and put pressure on this transmission, and then you'd wear out the gears, and that would be a very costly, expensive repair. So actually you can see in the back here, there's a shear pin right here, and it looks like it's half out. Okay, and in fact, there you go. I just pulled it out, and you can tell it's bent and broken off. So this thing did its job. Hopefully it didn't do any damage to this transmission when it sucked up that bag and stopped this assembly from moving. Okay, so this one I can tell you, well, there's a spot for a shear pin right here. Guess what? No shear pin. Okay, so that one's broken off and actually got flung out of there. That one had half of it left. And I don't know if the other side has half as well. I can't see that in there, but I'm gonna have to get a light in there and see what's going on there. But anyways, that is not supposed to spin freely on the shaft. Okay, so what we're gonna do is these machines, if you're brand new, actually come with spare shear pins. Okay, this one in particular has two shear pins here. Okay, so I'll grab these two because I'm going to need them both. I'm probably going to order the customer two more because you should have some on for spare. So these are not the easiest thing to get out one-handed, but okay. So I got a couple of shear pins and these pins or the clips. Sometimes some machines will have like a little, on the top of the belt cover, there would be like a little box, okay, a little flap. You can open it up, and sometimes they're stored in there as well. So what we're going to do is change out these shear pins and see if that fixes our problem. All right, so what I've done is just took a punch, a center punch here, and just to see if there was actually a remnants of that old shear pin in there. And sure enough, there is not. Okay, so all you're going to do is just stick this shear pin through, okay, all the way. All right, and then you can see there's a opening there, a hole there. That's where we're going to put our retaining clip or pin. All right, so that back shear pin is reinstalled, and on this front one, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but the actual pin is still inside the shaft. So unfortunately I can't really get a good shot of it there, but I'm gonna have to punch that pin out, the old pin, try and get this new pin put in. All right, there's the remnants of the old pin, sheared off just where it was supposed to. Okay, so you can see there's actual like indentations or whatever you want to call it, a recessed area all the way around the pin in two spots. Those are weak points and designed specifically for that purpose, just to break off. Now we just got to get the holes lined up again. There we go. Put a clip on there, and now she's good to go, both these guys. Alright, so there you go, guys. That's all it was. It's just a couple of broken shear pins. So, yeah, if your snowblower stops blowing, even if it's not one of these 3 stages, if it's just a 2-stage, which means you got a couple more of these vertical ones here, maybe 3 or 4 tines on each side, and then an impeller in the back. If it's not blowing anymore, check these pins first. Okay, please don't ever put a regular grade 8 bolt in there. It's not going to shear, and you're going to have that same problem I talked about, and you're going to kill this transmission, which is, you might as well get rid of the machine at that point. So hopefully it was helpful for you guys. Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, please go ahead and hit the like button, and if you're not a subscriber and you like small engine repair stuff, this is a channel for you. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. So thanks for watching, guys. Till our next project, take care.